What if I told you that the weirdest game of 2019 just got a sequel that makes the original look normal? Death Stranding 2 has arrived, and it's packed with talking marionettes, demon cats, and a girl who hates shoes so much it might end the world. Oh, and you're still carrying a baby in a jar while delivering packages across Australia. Because apparently, that's just Tuesday in Kojima's universe. So, what makes Death Stranding 2 so special that even its creator tried to sabotage his own success? The answer lies in something that most game developers would never dare to do: intentionally making their game more divisive. Here's what happened. Halfway through development, test audiences were loving everything about Death Stranding 2. I mean, the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Any normal developer would pop champagne and call it a day. But Kojima isn't normal. He looked at those perfect scores and saw a problem. In his words, if everyone likes it, it means it's mainstream. It means it's conventional. It means it's already pre-digested for people to like it. So, he rewrote the entire script. This is the gaming equivalent of a chef throwing away a perfect dish because too many people enjoyed it. It's madness, genius, or both. But that's exactly the kind of thinking that gave us the original Death Stranding, a game about a mailman in the apocalypse that somehow became a masterpiece. Speaking of masterpieces, let's talk about what this rewrite actually created. Death Stranding 2 takes everything weird about the first game and cranks it up to 11, then breaks the knob off. You're back in the boots of Sam Porter Bridges, except now you're not just walking across America. You're trekking through Australia. And if you thought the first game's America was hostile, just wait until you meet Australian Death Stranding. This isn't the Australia from tourism ads. We are talking about a continent where ghost robots patrol the wasteland, sandstorms can literally rewrite the landscape, and the local wildlife includes creatures that can drain your equipment's battery just by looking at it funny. But here's where it gets interesting. And by interesting, I mean completely insane. Sam's not alone this time. He's got a crew aboard a flying ship that includes a navigator with a pet demon cat, a woman who can make healing rain. Her name is Rainy, because subtle, and a talking marionette called Dolman, who apparently has opinions about everything.
Really, Sam? Your buttocks?
Oh, and there's Elle Fanning, playing a character whose superpower is hating shoes. No, I'm not making that up. The game also features cameos from Mad Max director George Miller and a virtual YouTuber named Usada Pikara.
Arigato! Arigato!
Because apparently Kojima's answer to "can this get weirder?" is always "hold my energy drink." But beneath all this beautiful madness lies something that might actually change how we think about video games entirely.
It's time for you to hit the road and start a new journey.
You see, Death Stranding is fundamentally a game about walking. Most developers would try to hide this fact, but Kojima celebrates it. In Death Stranding 2, walking is not just movement. It's meditation, strategy, and sometimes pure terror all rolled up into one. Every step matters because you're not just moving from point A to point B. You're balancing precious cargo, managing your stamina, avoiding supernatural threats, and quite literally rebuilding civilization one delivery at a time. The sequel takes this concept and adds layers that make it even more compelling. Now you're dealing with dynamic weather that actually changes the terrain. A sandstorm doesn't just look cool, it forces you to find new routes, adapt your strategy, and sometimes abandon your carefully planned journey entirely. The cargo system has been expanded as well. Some packages need to stay above certain temperatures, others are time sensitive. One mission has you rescuing a kangaroo from a bushfire, which is exactly the kind of sentence that only makes sense in a Kojima game. But here's what's really brilliant. The game gives you tools to make walking easier, then create scenarios where those tools become puzzles in themselves. You can build trucks, customize them with extra batteries or gun turrets, and even construct an entire monorail system. But every solution creates new problems. The truck might get you there faster, but Can it handle the rough terrain? The monorail, sure, it's efficient, but what happens when ghost mechs attack the stations? It's like Kojima took the simple act of walking and turned it into the most complex, thoughtful experience in gaming. But all that complexity would mean nothing if the world you're walking through didn't feel absolutely real. And that is where Death Stranding 2 performs its greatest magic trick. This isn't just about having more pixels or better textures. This is about creating environments so convincing that your brain occasionally forgets you're playing a game. The Decima engine, the same technology that powered the first game, has been pushed to its absolute limits. Every rock formation, every droplet of water, every gust of wind across the Australian outback feels handcrafted by nature itself. But the real magic happens in the details. Timefall, the game's signature aging rain, doesn't just fall from the sky, it interacts with everything it touches. Watch it darken surfaces, erode oil, and age plant life in real time. The level of environmental storytelling happening here is unprecedented. Animals move with such natural grace that you'll find yourself just watching them graze. Clouds don't just float, they roll with purpose and intent. Weather systems don't just change the way the world looks, they fundamentally alter how you play. This is environmental design as high art, and it's setting a new standard that other developers are gonna struggle to match. But stunning visuals are just the canvas. The real masterpiece here is the story that Kojima paints on top of them. So, if you found the first game confusing, congratulations! The sequel is here to make that confusion look like a children's book. We've got mysteries with mysteries, character reveals that rewrite everything you thought you knew, and plot twists that would make M. Night Shyamalan take notes. Without spoiling anything too major, let's just say that the baby you've been carrying around, yeah, that situation is way more complicated than you even thought. The friendly AI that's been helping humanity? Well, maybe not so friendly. And that apocalyptic event that everyone's been dealing with. It might just be the opening act. But here's what makes Kojima's storytelling genius. All this complexity serves a purpose. Every weird character, every confusing plot point, every moment where you stop and ask, what the hell is happening? Is carefully designed to make you feel exactly what the characters are feeling. You're supposed to be confused, overwhelmed, and constantly questioning reality. Because that's what it's like to live in a world where death doesn't work the way it's supposed to, where the internet is delivered by ghosts, and where the biggest threat to humanity might be humanity itself. But perhaps the most surprising thing about Death Stranding 2 isn't what's in the game. It's who helped make it. Buried in the credits, you'll find something that should be impossible. Nintendo Pictures. That's right, Nintendo. You know, the company that guards its exclusives more carefully than state secrets. They helped create a PlayStation exclusive. Now, there is a reasonable explanation for this. Nintendo Pictures used to be called Dynamo Pictures, and they did work on the first Death Stranding game before Nintendo bought them. Now, this is probably just a contractual obligation, but what if it's not? What if this is the first crack in the walls that have separated gaming platforms for decades? What if Nintendo is finally ready to play nice with others? This could be the beginning of a new era where the best talent works together regardless of corporate politics. Or it could be a one-time fluke that means absolutely nothing. Either way, it's a fascinating glimpse into how the industry might evolve. So, is Death Stranding 2 Kojima's most mind-blowing game yet? Well, here's the thing. Asking that question is kind of like asking if the ocean is wet. Of course it is. This is a game that features singing holograms, mechanical ghosts, and a plot that somehow makes carrying packages feel like saving the world. It's got graphics that make reality look underdressed, and a soundtrack that'll haunt your dreams in the best ways possible. But even more than that, it's proof that video games can be art, confusion, entertainment, and philosophical statements all at the same time. Death Stranding 2 doesn't just want to entertain you, it wants to rewire how you think about connection, isolation, and what it means to help others in a broken world. Whether you'll love or hate the game is almost beside the point. The real question is, are you ready for a game that refuses to be anything other than completely, utterly, uniquely itself? Because, ready or not, Kojima's Australian nightmare is here, and it's gonna stick with you long after you put down the controller.
Hello?
But what's your take on Death Stranding 2? Are you ready to carry packages across the Australian wasteland? Or does the idea of walking for 50 hours while caring for a digital baby sound like personal hell? Let me know down in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the games that make us question everything we know about interactive entertainment. Because if there's one thing that we've learned from Kojima, it's that the weirdest games often have the most important things to say.